together and help people understand, oh, I get it. I'm not helping the fire department per se. I'm helping myself. Oh, okay. Right. So I try really hard.
That's interesting. Yeah. So, I mean, it takes managing volunteers takes a lot of effort and work, and to do these trainings and this outreach. What is the value of doing these kind of trainings versus investing those same resources in training first responders that do that professionally?
Right. Well, it doesn't cost us anything, really. So the CERT program is really essentially free.
Okay.
All of our instructors are free except for fire staff that we pay for their backfill or overtime.
Is that because they're acting on a volunteer basis themselves?
The fire staff?
Or the people who
the
are
people
working for free?
They're just volunteers.
Okay.
Free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So other than your time, the cost is fairly low.
Yeah, we just pay for the city pays for the bags.
Okay.
And other than that, it's and then the fire extinguishers are donated.
Yeah.
So it's kind of used to cost us about $5,000 a class.
Okay.
And now it's down to $25,000 to $3,000 with the books and bags and instructors.
Okay.
So it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do more, but they're all volunteers and I don't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about doing a train the trainer, so bring in more people that want to help instruct and then do side classes.
Interesting.
But I think ours is top of the line, right? I'd like to think it is. People tell me it's great and you do a good job and it's a good class. And I haven't seen other programs that were, of the same caliber.
Yeah.
So I hesitate to just let them go off willy-nilly and teach their own classes.
Sure, yeah.
I'd like to, but we do share. LCC has a campus cert.
Okay.
Lane County has a cert, but their cert is just for their employees.
Yeah.
So they train their staff, which I thought about doing for our staff, a cert class. Mm-hmm. So that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
We did one for Peace Health. We did one for the University of Oregon. Yeah, so we've done a lot of special ones. Mm-hmm.
My understanding was that there was a relationship between FEMA and CERT, but that FEMA is no longer actively supporting the program. Is that accurate?
No, they still support it. It's just they don't fund it.
They don't fund it.
And that was, the whole understanding was we're going to put money at this. We're going to give you funding, but when the funding goes away, you will sustain this capability. And that's, perfectly acceptable, I think, because they can't just give you money forever, right? We want you, it's like startup money.
Yeah.
Here's your startup money, get the program going, and then we're going to slowly pull the money away. But we're still eligible to apply for funding.
Yeah.
Homeland Security money, we could apply, and there are CERT programs around the state that apply for money.
Okay.
We just don't because it's not a priority for the city management or leadership. You only get so many project slots to apply for money.
Yeah.
And so this last year, you only get 2. And last year we put forward a fuels allocation and assessment planning grant application and a satellite uplink system grant application. And we were successful on both.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is the fuels one? Is that assessing kind of fuel sources?
What are we looking at? What are our burn rates? What are our burn rates on a regular day? And what are our burn rates on a catastrophic day?
Okay.
Right? And then how much fuel do we have here locally? And where are we going to get it? So are they seismically sound tanks? Are they above ground? Are they below ground? What kind of fuel do they have? It's kind of just the whole picture of what are we looking at here, right? Because it's a big question mark. Yeah. And so we got to start somewhere. Yeah. So there'll be we're going to issue an RFP, a solicitation, to see if we can find a planner to help us figure all that. Figure that all out. So
interesting.
That should be hitting the streets in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
But that's statewide, right? Because our fueling infrastructure lives on the waterfront in Portland and comes one pipeline.
Only so much of that's in local control.
Not much. So is your car full? Did you ride your bike?
Actually, yes. Both of those things.
Mine too.
So you've mentioned that you have sort of a passion for this kind of work. Did that come out of doing this kind of work? Were you interested and are passionate about emergency preparedness before you started working with the city? How has that affected your personal relationship to emergency preparedness?
Well, I think a lot of it comes from work, right? Because I can see the other side, right? I know the answers to some of the questions and the gaps, right? So somebody just went and attended a conference a week ago in Medford. They did a Cascadia symposium
Okay.
workshop. It was like 2 days or something, and she came back and she's like, I'm moving to Texas. Because of the things that she learned. She was just like, it's bad. It's going to be really bad. And do you want to have it be really bad, or do you just want to have it be a really bad camping trip? Right? So it's kind of self-empowering too, you know, to know that you're not on your own, if you know, because you've taken the proper steps to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, in emergency management, we exercise and play with first responders all the time.
Yeah.
We work with the county and the state, and we know what our capabilities and limitations are to some degree. We have an understanding, and I think that it only furthers my passion for making sure the community knows that they need to take care of themselves, right? That we're not Portland, we're not Seattle, and resources aren't going to be here right away. They'll come someday, but not right away, right? So you need to do your due diligence, and you don't know that until I tell you that, right? Yeah. People are kind of head in the sand, I guess, if you will, but it's true. Right.
So I'm curious as to the people who do participate in this kind of work, both just professionally, but also as certs and volunteers who come to the classes, who invest an enormous amount of time to think about this and things that are difficult to think about. What do you think drives people to that? Like, if the general population is head in the sand, are there like patterns that you see that would?
Well, let's see. Some of the people that I see are really like the instructional folks, right? Like school teachers, retired school teachers. I do see a lot of the elderly folks, but I also see workforces come. So like whole security groups have come, whole construction groups have come, some hospital staff have come. Because they want to empower themselves, right? And I feel like they spread the message wherever they go too. LCC's students come, and then they go and teach their own class. But their demographics, I think, a lot of them have experienced something, right? Some of them have been, what's the word? Not tardy, but lacking in the preparedness, and they know it. And they're like, oh, my time has come. I've been putting this off for a while, and this came up, so I figured now is as good a time as any to take the steps in the right. It's like going to the doctor, right? Health coverage. You just, I have to do this. I got to do this, right? And so a lot of what I see when I do get people, it's, I've been trying to get into this class, and now I finally got into it, or they've been trying and it just didn't work out, and now they're like, I'm just going to make it work, right? So there are not a lot of preppers, like people that are really super into it, and I've got 4 months worth of stuff. Those are few and far between here.
Interesting.
Yeah, is, but I do get we used to do this little tabletop exercise, and we'd make everybody go out to their car and bring in anything they felt would be a useful tool or something to have in their kit. It's kind of fun because people would come in with, well, I got all this. And,
nail clippers.
And then you ask the questions, well, who has? And then, who has? And then they're like, wow, I could live for a long time now. I got to stop cleaning out my car right now. Right? So it's like, it's eye-opening, an eye-opening conversation for people to say, well, yeah, I should have a little bit of water in my car, and if there were ice storm, I should probably have one of those emergency blankets. And so they're like, oh, I get it now. I see why this is important. Yeah.
The way that I learned about the certs was talking to somebody who identified as a prepper, and I was curious, sort of, if you see people coming in, what do you think of the kind of cultural movement around prepping?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know where they live. Like,
they don't want you to.
Right? Some do share because it's me, but most of them are like, no. I live over by his house. But no, it's I don't think there's a whole lot of them just yet. Right. I wish there were more, but not
a whole lot of actual preppers.
Yeah. Preppers, people that are ready to do it. So like Southeast Neighbors has got that cache and meeting place, and they're building their resources, and can we make that bigger? Yeah. Can we get every neighborhood to have the same model? So LA County put together this 5-step planning tool, and it's a neighborhood planning template that you can build your neighborhood emergency plan, and it's pretty straightforward. You just fill in the blanks, right? Walk your way through it, and then when you're done, you have a plan. And that's what Southeast Neighbors did. And so I was like, hey, I think we can do that here.
Yeah.
So trying to find the right tools and the right people. That's the challenge. The people that are willing to do the work.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it for them. I would if they paid me to.